We don't have
A chair.
We don't have a chair. So I think the first order of business would be to nominate and elect a chair. I don't even know who does that. Would it be,
I have no idea.
I don't know if Phyllis needs to be in here for that or not.
does Phyllis have to be here for that?
I don't know.
Technically, she should be. Yep.
I think she's she's out there.
Yeah, I'll go get her.
Hold on. Dan's running.
Yeah, no, I don't run anymore.
My goodness, he's already chair.
I can't. That leaves one. That only leaves one.
It's not the drivers.
I'm learning a lot about the budget committee assignment. Thank you, sir.
Well,
Oh, that's not too bad though.
we can talk about that.
Okay, Phyllis is present.
All right. Hi. We'll take long.
So what do we need to do, Phyllis? Because we have to nominate a chair.
Is there a motion for a chairperson?
I'd like to nominate Rick Edelman.
I second that motion.
Discussion? Okay, so the motion has been made for Micah as chairperson.
No, Rick.
Rick.
Oh, I'm sorry, Rick. Any, so all in favor?
Do we have to do a roll? Because Rick's,
Oh, yes, roll call vote with Rick being,
Nominated chair.
Jim.
James Aspect, yes.
I vote yes. Rick?
Yes.
And thank you.
As the car crashes.
Thanks for volunteering.
all right,
Thanks for volunteering.
congratulations, Rick.
Okay.
Chairperson of the-
Yeah, I guess as chair, my first action will be for somebody to go through the agenda because I can't see it or read anything while I'm driving today.
Yes,
We can do that.
we can do that.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Phyllis. Pull that up here.
Okay, so the first thing is call to order. Let's call this meeting to order. We have the quorum,
5:15.
5:15. Second item, pledge of allegiance, flag right there. I'll give you a pass for it. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, next item is to approve the minutes of the April 1st meeting, the Finance Committee.
I will make a motion to approve those minutes.
I will
And I'll
second.
second that.
Okay.
I need to abstain because I wasn't there.
Yeah, that's why I seconded James, just because you weren't part of the group last time.
Let's make sure somebody hit record.
Yeah, we did.
Okay. So then the next thing on the agenda is new business financial remarks. So we still have a 2.7% inflation rate as of February of 26. It didn't change from the last time. We have,
And Marie,
Yes.
I apologize. We have to do a roll call vote to approve that because I'm on the phone.
oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Standing here?
Yeah,
Okay,
for a minute.
that's fine. We just have to do a chair first, that's all. Or we think we have something.
Yeah.
Okay. So roll call minutes.
I vote yes.
So we have to roll call, yeah, and I vote yes.
And one abstention.
I still abstain.
Sorry.
That's okay. Am I good to proceed?
Yeah.
All right. So current inflation rate is the same as it was February 26th, 2026. It did not change. And it is 2.7%. We have encumbrances through April 9th. And the operating cash balance of the district cash with TD Bank and the New Hampshire PDIP is $7,866,840.66. And the trust funds have all been updated through March. So I will go through each one. There were no expenditures in any of the trust funds, but as of March 30th, the Special Ed Expendable Trust Fund earned $1,990.42 in interest for a total in that fund of $647,124.86. The next one is the Capital Improvement and Maintenance Fund, which earned $1,503.59 for a total in that fund of $488,864.61. The Unanticipated Educational Expense Capital Reserve Fund earned $903.13 for a total of $293,633.54. And then the unanticipated utility costs earned $612.06 with a total in that fund of $199,002.48. And then the facility and finance revolving, we just had some rent come in from the, SLC and SCA with a total of that fund of $385,786.48. That's the trust funds. And the total with the contingencies is $2,684,682.97. Are you good with that, Rick?
I'm all set, thank you.
Okay. I'm not sure if you had a chance to look at the March revenue report.
I have not.
Okay. All right. So tuition, we received $3,236.32. So that was pretty much the preschool. Earnings on investment for March, we received $11,347 in earned interest. And then in other local revenue, this is what you wanted last time broken out. We had earned $3,693. That amount is, we're hosting the Timberlane Track Invitational. So they paid us $200, or we're hosting, they paid us for the Track Invitational $200. And then we have a New Hampshire retirement refund of $199. We have damaged library books of $25, and then scrap metal that we send over and get the money for was $77.56. And then New Hampshire retirement pays us for the retirees' health insurance. It comes out of their retirement check so that we can pay the health insurance bill, and that was $3,136.48. And then we had earned $240 for broken Chromebooks, and then $1,132 in Medicaid. And, the Siemens earned interest of $1,318.21 from that fund. So for the month of March, just in the general fund, it was just over $20,967. And then the revolving rental income was $2,555. And then we go into the food service with lunch sales, and then the federal and state breakfast and lunch program. It was $72,222.89. And then I'm just gonna sum up all of the grants for the entire month was $29,599.23 for a grand total of all the funds we took in $125,344.81 for the month of March. And that, there's no budget adjustments. And the next thing on the agenda are year-end funds. So I was going through and looking at the end of year numbers, and I just want to be a little proactive here. I know Matt Malilla last year didn't have an opportunity or didn't realize that when there's a chunk of money at the end, we could talk about potential projects or purchasing of other things. So I just wanted to put that out there for you guys to start thinking about it. But I know Dan And I had talked about, they need a couple of new trucks to get in the system, start rotating trucks, but he got a couple of quotes from the state bid. But we're talking, we have like 3.4 million right now that we can play with. So one truck alone was I can't remember, 60-something thousand. Let me pull it up here.
Yep, so $55,890. Now, this is the deal, if you don't mind me.
Go for it.
May 1st, the new pricing comes out on the vehicles for the 2027 year. So if we purchase it now before May 1st, this is the price. If we wait till after May 1st, then the price is gonna go up, obviously, somewhat, for the new model year. But as it stands right now, the one truck we want is a simple pickup truck with a snowplow package, and that comes in at $55,890, okay? Then the second vehicle that, and this will be to not so much replace a truck, but we have a truck that is aging pretty much, and we can't even push snow with it anymore. So the main purpose of this truck would be to push snow. The other vehicle we have, or we would like to purchase, it's a Ford chassis, and then on the Ford chassis, we would install the switch and go system, which is basically a roll-off system like this. Okay, and with those attachments, I want to get the aluminum dump body because our dump truck is on the way out. And we can get the salter attachment for it because our salter is going out. And we can get the landscape body because we have a truck that's on its way out also. So we can get those 3 attachments and the truck. And the price on that was $118,729 if we purchase before May 1st, which I know it's not gonna happen, but those are the 2 vehicles I'm asking for at this point.
It's the Ventrac of trucks. Those are.
It is.
It is. Well, if I buy this one big one, it eliminates me buying 2 trucks.
Right.
So that's the reason I want to do that. So,
And that goes directly through the state.
yeah, this is through the state bid process. So we got the absolute lowest price. You know, there's no ag one. It's what the state pays. So,
Rick, go ahead.
Well, I just have, I don't know what, I can't see if there's anything presented like, a list of our current fleet, miles, age. I assume these trucks we're talking about purchasing are new. I have a question as to why we need to purchase new, like how many miles do we actually put on these trucks before they age out? So yeah, I just have a bunch of questions.
yeah, they're not high mileage trucks right now because we simply use them around town. But quite honestly, we beat them up because of the snow removal. It just kills those trucks and the salt kills them. So.
Are these trucks that I apologize, go ahead.
I'll get you a list of our current fleet mileage and year, which I think I gave you guys last year, but I'll give you an updated list of our current fleet.
And maybe add to that your assessment of their,
Sure, I can attach photos too.
yeah, just their condition in
Yep.
terms of end of life. or how-
I mean, ideally, I'd love to get into a plan with the school district where we're setting like 50,000 aside every year and then be on a 2-year buying program. That way we have money set aside for these vehicles as they're aging out. Because I'd like to get on a 2-year plan where we're replacing a vehicle every 2 years in our fleet. That way we're not buying all these vehicles at one time. So, but I'll get all that together for you guys for the next meeting.
Yeah, and I think,
Yeah,
I have some, 1 second, Rick, I have some templates here that'll help with, what's the total district, you know, in quantity of vehicles?
As far as how many we have in our,
Yeah.
let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4.
So it's not huge, but I think to your point, to get on a plan, like a general fleet replacement plan,
Right.
because there is that sweet spot, you know, you want to sell to maximize resale value, minimize repairs.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that is, I think, Rick, what you're actually looking for is some type of structured fleet plan.
correct, 100%. And then, like I think if I heard correct, buy 1 truck, multiple uses, eliminate purchasing 2 potentially. There's got to be some savings in that as far as maintenance costs and insurance costs. I'd like to maybe know what they are as well, so we can sort of work that in. But yeah, James, you're 100% correct. Like, I'm not opposed to a plan either. I just want to make sure it makes sense. It's fiscally responsible.
Yeah, understand. I'll get all that for you for the next meeting as far as what we have, mileage, insurance we're paying on them, and kind of put a plan together for those vehicles. Our newest vehicle we bought during COVID, which was 3 years ago. So, and the problem we're having is these vehicles, like I said, we beat them up with the snow removal and they're rusting out. So it's not the mileage that's the issue, but the front ball joints, everything's going bad on the front because we beat them up.
That's right.
So, okay, I'll get that one together.
And Rick and Micah, and I think you've been on facility and finance for a bit, but I believe in years past, like Matt Angel would like give you a list of what like the hopes and wishes and present them to you guys at the end of the year if there was a surplus in funds. How do you want me to go about that? Because Dan and I were talking today and we're trying to like, pick and choose what we think would be appropriate to get done. How do you want me to put a list together of what is appropriate to get done with funds, or I need some guidance on how you guys want to do this, because I've always been in the background, not.
Yeah, so I'll say one quick thing is Matt typically didn't provide the list. Tom, the former superintendent, did.
Okay.
And I just want to make sure, for the record, the number one priority for surplus funds are to go back to the residents of both towns. If there are things and, requirements that are necessities that, we feel cannot be secured underneath our budget, and they are emergency items, I think we definitely should review them, and a list is warranted at that point. But I just want to, first and foremost, that's the surplus funds are, especially in today's environment, first priority is going back to the towns of Kingston and Newton.
Yep, no, I agree.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and that list should be probably viewed in relation to the capital improvement plan. Like, if this plan is, if these projects are what they are in the, we have a prioritized list.
Exactly.
Right? So we already have a prioritized list. So then we should say, naturally, we should just, as appropriate, pick away at that list from top priorities as it's possible.
Well, and we
Weighing that against the taxpayer. Obviously, what Rick said is, I agree with, but also if there's anything emergent that has come up since that isn't on the thing, that would be good.
We also need to review our capital improvement plan, because the majority of those things on there are on our capital improvement plan, and they shouldn't be on there. I think James would agree with that, is that they're actually operating.
Well, I think we should be either that or rename the capital improvement plan.
Right, exactly.
The capital maintenance plan.
So we should
There's nothing on there that is really improving. It's all maintaining.
There's a couple improvement things, but we should have two baskets, one for the capital improvement, one for the general maintenance. So, okay.
Can I ask one other question? So Christine and I were talking today, and I know the board had already approved her to do the 3 years of the science curriculum.
Yeah.
Well, she got some prices too, because I know in years past, Matt would go to Christine and say, hey, we've got some extra funds here. What can we do for curriculum purposes? And she got some really good quotes to add additional reading and math, the 3-year program for science. We have, it's going to cost about $279,000, but this is like years worth of updates for teachers and consumables, all of that for all of the curriculum. And we have in her budget already, we already have 150. So we need like just under another 150. So we would just wanted to throw that out and ask if we can at least move forward with that, because that's a huge cost savings, because they gave us a really good discount if we were to purchase it all up front. So that was my biggest thing tonight too. And then we can, of course, still talk about other things with the excess year-end funds. But this was like one of the big ones that Christine board had already approved for the reading and the math and the science, but we just got additional quotes to just really.
Well, yeah, I guess I have a question, because I don't, and maybe I'm, Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't recall that it was presented to the board when we were asked to approve this, that we were paying for it with potentially surplus funds.
Well, no, she's got enough for the science, that we weren't doing that, but we had gone and we talked to the vendors to see what we could come up with for pricing. If we had a bit of extra funds, what we could do. So, I mean, we have enough for the science and part of the reading and in the reading and the math, but we were just asking for how much would it cost for extra consumables and teacher guides and things like that, so that we could pay for those now.
So I
It
feel
would
like
be cheaper in the long run.
this is the same kind of thing that Dan, it's just not a strict facilities thing. It's a
Right,
finance thing,
right.
but it's in the same spirit as a facilities request for, hey, there's a good deal that we can get, but I would, at that number, I don't think that we could do anything here without bringing it to the full board.
That's fine.
And then, Rick, do you agree on that point, and that we should get a little more info about that before we consider it?
Yeah, 100%, yes.
Or consider it in relation to all these sort of year-end requests, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly.
Yeah,
Okay. And that's why I wanted to ask.
Yeah, yeah.
How do you want to handle it? 'Cause
Yeah, I feel like
wasn't
that's a good-
sure.
because like.
Yeah, I think Maria, a list is warranted, right? Like,
Okay.
and we, to Micah's point, we've always, it's always been a vote by the board on those type of items.
Okay. That's fine. Okay. Are you ready? Dan's next.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to move this to old business or talk about this as far as year-end funds, but I've got some numbers together for the Bakey oil pumps. Granite State Plumbing in 2022 gave us a price of $41,947 for a 100-gallon day tank with no pumps. I would assume that price is probably at about $50,000 today, seeing that was given to us several years ago. The other contractor, E&E Systems, they proposed dual pumps with no day tank at $39,945. Palmer Sicard gave us a proposal of dual pumps with no day tank at $17,249. Siemens gave us a proposal of a 25-gallon day tank and dual pumps with all the engineering specs and everything that Siemens does for $63,911. Now, here is my gut. Granite State would not do this project based on just pumps. They strongly feel that a day tank is needed in this situation. Siemens also feels the same way, that a day tank has to be used in this application, plus a dual pumps, which Palmer, Sicard, and E&E also recommended. So if we do a combination of day tank and dual pumps, if you were to take the cheapest bid for a contractor for just the dual pumps and the cheapest bid for the contractor that's doing the day tank, they both together would be more than what Siemens has offered for the $63,911. The other thing we're getting with Siemens is obviously they've fulfilled the multiple bid policy for us. They have the engineering specs on it. It's been heavily engineered. And if there's any cost overages or overruns, obviously that's something Siemens is going to eat. And we're not going to see any more money coming out of our pockets other than the $63,911. I think we need to move on this and definitely make it a summer project, because going over there physically every day to turn boilers on multiple times is really getting old. And Siemens's offer to possibly bundle this project with the HVAC system on the roof, thus reducing the price somewhat, not significantly, but somewhat for the pumps and the rooftop units. Which kind of brings me to the rooftop units. We're not ready to make a decision on that. I'm still gathering some information on that. But Siemens would like to do a presentation on May 6th's meeting regarding the rooftop units and why we need to do what we're doing. Now, I don't know if we want to do that in this meeting or do it in the school board meeting or do both. So I'll let you
We're about making
gentlemen,
you guys do it twice.
Well,
Okay,
I think he's talking about bakies.
the Bakey rooftop.
Separate
units.
ones.
Yeah.
Forget.
I think it should be done in both this committee, so you have an understanding of
Jokes
what's going
aside,
on,
probably, yeah.
and probably the school board, so we all have a good idea of what's going on.
Not until May 6th.
It'd be May 6th, agenda item.
Rick, are you okay with that?
I would definitely suggest the school board. It's probably redundant from to do it twice, but I would definitely want it done in the school board meeting. Just because, because of past comments we've had, right? I think, if you want to do it twice, if you want to do it for facilities and finance, that's up to you. I think it's redundant, but I definitely present to the board, that way questions are asked and answered at one shot, and we don't have to come back twice. Can we go back to the pumps, because I don't, obviously I can't see. You
Yep.
said we have met the 3 bid policy, but what I heard was that we have a bid for one portion of the work from one company and a bid from another portion. So my question is, do we have 3 bids for like work for what you described?
We have 3 bids from Siemens contractors for like work for the dual pumps and the day tank. I have 2 bids for light work for just the dual pumps and no day tank, because the other 2 contractors refuse to do that project unless a day tank is included in the project.
Have we gone back to them and asked them to requote with a day tank?
Right, because the scoping is clearly off. The variances on the bids are way too high for a similar scope.
Yeah, and they were scope similar as far as the pumps go.
And so E&E and Palmer's are part of the same bid, and Granite State not so the same bid.
Right, and Granite State felt that they didn't need to do a dual pump system there. They felt that 100-gallon day tank,
Oh, no pumps, just the
just a
tank.
100-gallon day tank, which
Oh,
makes no sense because it's not pressurized then.
Okay,
It's just a day tank.
sorry.
But they would,
But that says that the supply and install of a 25-gallon day tank is plus or minus 40 grand. Right? That's the difference in scoping.
yeah, exactly. So well, at 2022's pricing, we were looking at it that way.
Have we asked them to requote per the spec that we want now?
No, Granite State said they're done. They gave me the bid of a 100-gallon day tank, and they said they're not gonna bid it out anyway, and that's the way they feel it needs to be done. E&E and Palmer-Sicard feel that no day tanks are needed, but when we engineered it with Siemens, they feel that it's definitely necessary to have pumps and a day tank.
And we wouldn't bid.
I apologize. I just want to ask the question, and I guess I'm asking for a specific answer, right? It's either yes or no. Have we gone back and specifically asked those vendors to requote the work based upon the specs that us as a customer wants?
Yes, so E&E and Palmer-Sicard were spec'd out the same with the dual pumps, not the day tanks.
And did we ask them to quote it? I understand they said they don't feel that it needs a day tank, but did we say, we'd like you to quote it with a day tank?
I can go back and do that if you want me to, but they feel they don't want to engineer that or deal with it at that point. And it'll probably add at least another, probably $50,000 to their original bid. So if you add $50,000 on their bid with the D pumps, we're way above the 60,000.
My point is, we're guessing, right? I don't know that, and you may be right, Dan. Right? I'm not disagreeing with you, but and this is no disrespect to Siemens, but I think I want to make sure that we're getting multiple quotes, and we're doing our due diligence, given the size of the expense.
And Rick, I can give you 3 quotes with Siemens involvement, from 3 installers.
Yeah, are there 3?
But I picked the lowest qualified bid. I bid it out and then I bring you the lowest qualified bid.
Right.
For our
Maybe that's what I'm missing. I think I heard, I apologize because it was a little muffled. So
No, it's fine.
You can give us 3 bids?
You did.
Yes.
So that's what I did. I put an RFP out for this scope of work to multiple installers and picked the lowest qualified bid, the company I felt was Siemens wanted to work with on this project, and that's the $63,000 number. If you need me to show you the other bids, they're higher than that. So like it was the
Yeah.
lowest qualified bid.
Rick, so the Siemens bid has embedded within it 3 bids for
Correct.
like work.
Plus the
And you
extra.
have them in front of you?
I only have the lowest qualified in front of
Yeah,
us.
so I presented
Yeah,
the lowest
so I-
qualified, 63. So I could come back at the next meeting and be, we
Show
could
us
go
all.
through it all, but this is the lowest price that I got. So it would just show you that this is the lowest price that I got.
Because right now I have 6 bids. 3 of them are apple to apples, 2 of them are apple to apples, and then 1 is kind of the lone wolf.
You got 3 apples to apples, you got 2 orange to orange.
Yeah.
And
And he
An
asked me to
avocado,
add
so
an
yeah.
orange to this, and we won't, because it's just not, we won't recommend 2 pumps.
Right.
So you would have 3 oranges, but,
no date.
Well, you recommend dual pumps and a tank.
yeah.
Yeah, but just not pumps.
Yeah.
Oranges.
I'll make a glass of dual pumps and no date changes.
Yeah, we should just all talk about it in fruit.
As long as, guys, as long as we have 3 bids for like work, I think we're good. That meets the requirement.
Yes, and that's what Siemens does with all our contract work. They do a minimum of 3 bids on everything they do for us.
Yes.
Okay. So please get us those bids.
You got it. For the next meeting on May 6th, they'll present those 3 bids and we can make that decision at that point.
Okay, you guys good with that?
Yes.
Yep,
Good.
that's fine. Yep,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yep,
James, Micah, you good?
I'm good. James, you feel good about that? I mean, on the assumption, of course, that we believe that apples is the kind of work that we want to do, right? Like, well, we're just assuming, like, some people say just a day tank, some people say just pumps, but we categorically disagree with that, based on your expertise.
Yes.
Okay, then I'm good with that.
And ours.
And
Well,
yours,
and they're
collectively,
engineers.
whomever.
I mean, yeah.
We trust,
You
yeah.
procured us as your,
Yes.
partner, so that's
So,
our recommendation.
Yeah, so I wanna put out there that, like, it needs to be an assumption for this to work, that is the work that we want to do.
Yeah,
So that's what we want.
that makes it fair.
Yeah.
I understand, yeah.
That is correct. Good. Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll come next week,
Got homework.
Yes.
next meeting.
Do we want to reference our competitors or do we want to just do it all?
I was prepared to talk you through like our Bakey air handler proposal, but I heard from you that you want to wait till May 6th to hear anything about Bakey's
Yeah.
kitchen unit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, that's the one we'll talk about it.
So then
May
this
6th.
packet is pretty much not,
For later.
yeah, not relevant.
But you can peruse it.
We'll try and familiarize it.
Do we want to go back to facility and Swayze gym because
Yeah.
the last,
I have an update on that.
me too.
Oh,
Because I was supposed to talk to the athletic director and you were supposed to talk to the community.
well, I'm halfway through that. Did you
Okay,
talk to
well, I
Ryan and
spoke to the
Athletic?
athletic director.
Okay,
And he said they only use Swayze gym in the winter time.
Yep.
Monday through Thursday, 2:30 to 6, November to February.
middle school basketball practice.
Correct.
Right.
And they don't use it the fall, the spring, or the summer. And we had asked him if we could do, they only really need 6 games to be
Right.
played there. They could practice anywhere.
Right.
But-
And 6 games could be done at the high school with some
Finagling.
creative scheduling.
Right.
So, okay,
And also, he followed up today, Ryan, and said that he was able to reach out to the Y in Plastow just for some comparisons. And he said that the gym space is $100 an hour, and they would need 3 hours, and a bus would be roughly $400. So they'd be looking at $700 a day to use the Plastow Y.
Big chunk of.
That's a big chunk of
Yeah.
money.
Which is
So-
a significant savings versus what we're paying to operate the building.
well,
Right, but
how many
they-
days is it that he would pay the 700?
Well, he could see, what he's saying is he could use the Y just to play the 6 games.
Oh, I see.
So it doesn't interfere with the varsity and everything, but he could still do practices.
Okay, so we have some, we've got some.
We have,
And
so
he-
it's the
there's
games,
options.
But he
exactly.
also said that he could, when they do the schedule next year, that they could
He'll
have
have
games
it.
on opposite
Okay.
days or whatever.
So I talked to so far, I haven't talked to Kingston Rec. I've only talked to Sanborn Community Basketball. I gave an overview to Steve St. Cyr, who's the president of Sanborn Community Basketball, of, the general exploration that we're doing, given the fact that the overall cost structure is what it is, what the operating cost is. Projects that, some are on a 2 or 3 year rotating basis, but there's some every year maintenance and the overall operating cost. Also considered that the majority of the costs are due to utilities and custodial primarily, and then utilities. And went over the idea that, we have a lease, it's due to be renewed December 16th. We're not sure as a board yet whether or not we see Swayze as a liability or a potential asset. Given dwindling enrollment and tightening budgets, what are we gonna do about this? He appreciated very much the questions that we were asking, being good stewards of taxpayer funds and wanting to make sure that we're not overdoing it. And, we sort of mapped out, there's obviously a couple of pathways that we could go forward. One would be just like right? Another would be that a community organization takes over that and, they rent it, but we still would, not go forward. And then another option would be that we go forward, but with significant help from community organizations. He was hoping that option would still be an option, that the school would renew the lease for another 5 years, and was able to understand, and he did, obviously he's talking to his board as well, but would be willing to contribute what I believe would be a substantial amount of funds toward it to help with the cost. So the details of that proposal might still be need to be ironed out, but it's not like, we weren't thinking that it would be like just subject to a standard rental fee. We still need one of those that we need to charge, but he was talking about making a much more sizable and sustaining contribution from that organization in order to keep it afloat. So I think more discussions need to be had. I still need to talk, we have time, which is good. The board, we don't have till December.
Right.
I still need to talk to the town of Kingston to see what their inclination is and whether or not they share the same sentiment, and any other organizations that use it. But it's good to have both.
You may want to include the Newton Rec League also.
Yeah. I don't know who plays there.
I don't think anybody does, but I think we ought to extend that out.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, since it's a district. Yeah. So, I know Kingston Rec is the pickleball, but there could be talks of Newton. So more conversations to be had, but good conversations so far on both sides. I'm glad that we have flexibility should we need to not move forward with it, but also I feel like if we do choose to, we would have a good amount of help to defray some of the costs.
Awesome. That's a great update, Mike. Is Sanborn baseball?
Baseball's on my list. Baseball. There was another one.
I think they should be similar, maybe less usage of basketball.
Yeah.
We should treat them.
Yeah, I went to the big ones first.
Awesome.
But yep. That's the update. So more to come. I'll continue to update on the progress, and eventually, I'm sure that actually at some point, some members of the organizations would like to come and, pitch their proposal, as it were, to be involved.
Yep.
And see how that could work.
Yeah.
And work with Dan on, if there's shared responsibilities as well as financial input, what that would look like, in your estimation. So,
Yeah,
That's
that's for
that update.
Sanborn Athletics, it's only middle school that uses it.
right,
Yeah,
Right.
that's it.
we said it was about an eighth, right, of the time.
Yeah,
not even-
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so,
exactly right.
yeah, so something clearly needs to be done. We need to fundamentally change the way that we, operate in that space.
Ryan wasn't overly concerned if it was not available anymore. He said he could make it work, given he knows, way
Yeah.
scheduling. But,
There's a provision, I know the lease seems to be pretty clear from our owner's perspective that this is a one more 5-year thing and then that's it.
That's it.
yes,
But there is a provision in there that says that should the school not want to proceed with it, that it could be leased to a town or a community organization, but I don't know if that's the case. I'd like to investigate
The
it.
town of Kingston has first right of refusal to continue the lease if they want to.
Okay,
And I've already talked to some select board members, and they were not willing to entertain that at all. They said we can't even maintain.
so if it were a community organization that wanted to take it over, I don't know whether or not it would have to be.
Since it's a municipal, not municipal related, I don't know if Chipper would let you do that, but I don't know.
Yeah, it might have to be. I mean, the lease would permit it if the school renewed it and then transferred it, I think.
I don't know if
The
we
way
can
I'm reading
sublease,
it.
that's the thing, I don't know if we can sublease in that contract.
So anyway, that's.
Yeah, I don't think there was a sublease provision in our lease.
It wasn't, but it did say, if I look at it real quick, it said something to the effect, hold on.
And my gut tells me if we do sign a 5-year lease and continue it, I'm sure Chimberg would have no heartburn if we rented it for a year and a half and said, we're done with the gym. He's not gonna worry about his $1 a year rent.
I don't think so.
And I think he, in my opinion, would rather see that building gone more than anything.
Probably.
Do we know, is that at the end of this next lease term? Is that the intent, demolition?
We don't know. I'd also like to talk to him.
Well,
Yeah,
I would have a meeting with him on Friday morning about the gym.
Wait, what?
You do?
Yeah, with Peter Chimberg.
Can I come to that?
You are more than welcome to,
I would.
9 o'clock Friday morning with Peter Chimberg, because they want to use some of the space in Tweezy Gym as their construction office.
Oh.
And we have 2.
We're gonna rent it to them?
I was just
We
gonna
have,
say
we
that.
have 2 vacant rooms there that are available for their construction office. where
Ready?
they do their-
Here's the term and termination, Article C. The initial term, 5 years, starting is A, it says the initial term. B, the tenant shall have the option to renew this lease agreement for 1 additional 5-year option term.
Yeah.
In the event that the school district shall no longer wish to lease the gym, it may, at the sole option of the district, be leased by town or a local nonprofit for gym purposes for the remainder of the lease term, should the school district cease to lease the premises.
So the league could,
Just for gym purpose.
For gym purposes.
Yeah.
So it seems as though, should we say, no thanks, we could sort of direct it to
the
where
rec league and.
to a rec league or to the town, but they don't have an appetite for it, but,
Right.
you know, we can see what's possible.
But I
don't-
mean, if
But then
if the
who
basketball
maintains?
group does.
I honestly don't think that the basketball, I don't think they could,
I don't
if they
think they
had
could
to do
fund 50,000 a year.
they
I was
couldn't,
gonna say,
they
who
could,
would pay for that?
they could contribute well, I'm not prepared to say what was discussed yet because Steve hadn't discussed with the rest of his board yet. But I think that the number was, if it were to be a partnership moving forward, it was a substantial, contribution that he was thinking they could make pending the board's approval, his board's approval. So I can leave it at that.
For your Chimberg meeting Friday, if it's useful, pay $500 to $600 a month for a construction trip. So that's the value.
Oh,
Yeah, but they're
Okay.
looking at it for 14 months with it heated and
Big time.
cold and,
That's real.
And they got a brand new water fountain in there.
well, and I'll discuss some of the specifics with them, because obviously I don't want construction workers walking across the floor.
That's true.
We're gonna.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a lot more than polish these things.
Yeah. Okay, I'll discuss, in your one.
We only, I'm sorry, if I heard correctly, we only have students in the building in the month of February, for a certain number of weeks, is that correct?
For our students, it's just the basketball, which is what, November, December, January?
November through February,
Yeah,
Well, and I would say
from
November-
2:30 to 6 PM.
November through February, we have students in
middle
there,
school students.
middle school students, under the flag of Sanborn.
Correct.
There are obviously students there,
Boys and
other
girls
days,
basketball.
boys and girls basketball, people who are students but are there under other, the authority of whatever.
And these construction offices will be used during those times?
Yes, well, I mean, they'll be there during business hours, so during the day, there won't be any kids there.
Well, I mean, kids get there at 3 o'clock for,
Yeah, and it's just the foreman's office is all it is, you know? And I want to play nice in the sandbox with Chimberg, so.
Yeah, okay. Let me ask the question again. I think it's more of a yes or no. The offices will be open when our students are in the building.
There may be some overlap, yes.
Okay? Yeah, so there's concerns with that are gonna have to be addressed.
Yeah, and there is a quiet enjoyment clause in here. Like, so long as the tenant shall perform all the covenants and agreements herein required, tenant shall have peaceful and quiet enjoyment of the premises against any person claiming by, through, or under the landlord. I mean, it could be argued that this impacts quiet enjoyment. It also could be argued that, do these people have background checks?
That
Do
was
they
the next
have,
question.
have they been fingerprinted?
That's where I'm going. We have a liability, yeah, we have a responsibility to protect the students.
Yeah, I was thinking the same, Rick.
Did his car stop? Is he here?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's-
look, that doesn't have to be decided today. I just want it at the forefront of any decision we make.
Yeah, there's another option. I'm thinking the use of the basement where we have storage now. Vacate the storage, give them basement, and then they wouldn't have any contact with the students at all in the upper level.
Can you get from the basement to the upper level?
No,
Separate entrance?
separate entrance.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to talk about it. That's all. I just want to make sure we're buttoned up.
Yeah,
First
we'll
priority
talk
is
about it.
protection of the students.
Yep.
Okay, that's that update. And we're getting awfully close to 6.
Yeah.
So I think we'll probably want to save the capital improvement plan overview for next time.
Yep.
And open it up for public comment.
Any public comment?
No public comment? And
James, do you have a copy of the capital improvement plan?
I do.
Okay, yeah, I just want to make sure you had it so you could start reviewing it, because I value your input, given your background.
didn't we want to get an editable copy of that?
So you can, if
Oh,
you
we have it.
download it.
Oh, yeah, I remember now, okay. I did, actually, and I have it, thank you. You know,
It's editable.
it's like it's editable.
See that then.
Edited.
Okay, so, if therefore there's no public comment, we can now, adjourn the meeting at 5:59. Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Do we have to vote for that, or we just do it? I don't remember.
No, the meeting's adjourned, that's it.